Hi, in this video I will show you 4 reasons why emotions destroy your chess results and how to fix them. In general, being emotional in chess has one problem. You lose your objectivity. And losing objectivity, it makes your moves worse, your evaluation worse, and so on. Strong players, they really manage to stay objective all the time, and I will show you how to stay objective too. I wanted to break down the staying not objective into several causes and reasons to figure out better why you're losing your objectivity and how to fix it in each particular case. We start with something I call the desperate mindset. Sometimes in chess you miss an opponent's idea and the position becomes a little worse for you, but somehow you feel like you lost it, like you lost the momentum, you lost your good position, and you feel like you lost the game. And what often happens is you lose the game. And that's, very sad, and we should avoid this. And I will show you one example where this happened to me in exactly the same way. So in the position we have a look at here, I was playing the white pieces and I have a winning advantage. Black's pieces, they are so awkwardly placed. His king is weak, and I could have controlled the position completely with the queen here. And after some concession like f6, position is positionally lost. However, I thought I might be smart here and first attack his rook, but I was shocked when he played bishop f6, and this is a great resource which I completely overlooked. The idea is to set up some blockade on the dark squares, and I will be able to take the exchange, but then I won't make any progress, and I felt very bad about it. Honestly, I thought, okay, I messed it up, and I cannot win anymore, and I was in that mindset, okay, I kind of don't want to play this game and so on. So what happened to me was that I, instead of trying to refocus and trying to just evaluate it, is it like, how bad is it? Is it already lost, or is it just equal and I should just play an equal position? I started moving around a bit, neglecting his ideas because I thought, okay, it's messed up already, I cannot win. But then I realized at some point when he activated his rook that I might be in danger of losing, and I managed to lose the game. After something like this, I needed to give up back the exchange. I got my counterplay, but somehow my king was in danger, and he had this very nice sacrifice where he conducted a mating attack. After this, queen d2, rook f2, queen d1, rook here, I got checkmated. So what do we learn from this after blundering this move, overlooking his idea? I could just have focused and stayed objective, saying, okay, it's an equal position now, my advantage is gone. And if I would have done this, I would just have played the position in the best possible way, piled up on the f-file, for example, with rook f2, and so he would never be able to activate his rook. And without this activation, he could never have won the game, because just give you a line, bishop e5, I move away again. But when he tries something like this, I put pressure on f6, and he just won't manage this because I will always invade here, so he needs to go back, and white has an easy draw. But emotions are getting into the way, you're getting frustrated, you're just moving around, you don't look for ideas, but you just stay caught in your thoughts, and that's a huge problem, which costs you a lot of points. The next reason for not staying objective in chess is something which I see a lot in my students' games, which is regretting past decisions. It doesn't help, and it doesn't make it any better when you, for example, see you missed this tactics one move ago. Some people, they get very, very upset. They really think like, why did I miss this tactics one move ago? But okay, you cannot change it anymore. It's gone. And you need to focus on the position which is on the board now and make the best out of it. And that's really something, when you learn it, it will make a big impact. For example, here it happened to myself. I played this position, and I could have decided the game immediately by playing knight to c1, which has the threat of knight e2, and thus I can take the exchange first and then react to this threat, because this one here is just hopeless, as I would in this position here pick up the a6 pawn and win the game. Of course, I realized after I played quickly queen c7 what I did. I realized, okay, I could have taken there first, but it was too late. But I managed to refocus and win the game from here. After this queen d3, soon focus to play the position which is on the board, and I finally managed to squeeze out this endgame. But It's really important, and that's what I want to tell you. When you realize you made a mistake in the past, you cannot fix it anymore. Just let it go and focus on the position which is there now. The next point of not staying objective, looking for the right move in a calm and controlled way, is getting resistance wrong. This is a position I played against a very strong Indian grandmaster, Abhijit Gupta, and in the position I played c3, which is actually not a bad move. But my thought process was, like, I will attack this bishop, and if it gets traded, I will then have a huge mating threat, which he cannot cover. Or if the bishop doesn't trade, I will take him. So there is basically nothing more than this. But after a very long thought, he came up with the very creative, but not best actually, and losing rook a7. And I got this very wrong. So instead of looking for the win in this position, believing I have another solution here, I just thought I already blundered. And this is like getting resistance wrong. There will always be ideas which make your winning attempt harder, and the stronger the opponents become, the more resources they will find. And that's not telling your last move was bad. And if it was, it doesn't really matter because you're playing the position from now. But it just shows resistance will always be there, and you mustn't get it wrong. If there is resistance, it doesn't mean you have a bad position. There will always be resistance, and you should focus and try to find solutions against the resistance, because in modern chess you won't win without any resistance. So here white would have had a winning position after the very strong rook e6. This is of course still very complicated and difficult, but I thought I already messed it up. Went back here with the queen, and my position went downwards from here. Of course, I should mention this idea, which I initially intended, doesn't really work, because he has this knight e5 preventing the mate and getting a huge counter attack with knight to f3. So don't get resistance wrong. There will always be resistance, and you should not think about it as if you were playing bad moves or your advantage is already gone. Try to overcome the resistance and your results will improve. The last emotional mistake I want to talk about is setting your goals wrong because of the past of the game. So sometimes we have like a roller coaster game where first winning, then maybe losing, then it's a draw, and then you finally get the shot to win the game again. But because of the past of the game, you are not in the mood like searching for a win. Because you were that lost, you would be happy with a draw, and so you completely lose your objectivity of the current position. So this is exactly what happened to me in this game. I was having a clear extra pawn and a winning position, of course, here, but things were difficult. And after I struggled with the difficulty, after some aggressive moves by my opponent, I even blundered it all, because here I took with the g-pawn, which allowed this counter check, and I basically overlooked that this king h1 doesn't work, because he will hit my queen first with his f8 rook before I will hit his queen, and this wouldn't end well for me. So I took the emergency break, queen g2, and managed to get to a bad endgame, but finally have some drawing chances. And I was very happy, but still I was a pawn down, and I was thinking about how to make the draw. I played a check here, king h6, d6, and now after rook a to a3, I was quite relieved, because I saw he wants to exchange my d-pawn here with rook d3. I can play this one, then trade the rooks, take the b6, and pawns will get exchanged. I will secure the draw. And this is the moment where those emotions and those emotional feelings towards the draw made something better impossible. So here, if I would have been objective and see, okay, my pawn might also win the game if I have a good idea, I might have found rook to f7, but it didn't happen. I went for the draw with rook b7. The key idea being here that I can protect my rook here, and then I would just push the pawn with a win. So don't let the past of your game define your future goals. If the position is promising again after you had been dead lost, play for a win, not for draw. So thanks for watching this video. If you get something out of it from this emotional approach, this psychological approach to your chess games, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.